Good morning, everyone, and welcome. We've got a lot to talk about this morning. Several stories, a number of stories, to be honest with you. And then we are going to make our way over to Odyssey to do an actual news live stream. Pretty excited about that, to be honest with you. Very, very pumped up. It will have been almost a week, or exactly a week, since I was able to do a news live stream with actual news stories. Hail very quickly to those of you who have joined us early, like Liger Fan, Just Another Red Shirt, Snortopupus Cuber, and of course, Keith Howard. Thanks for showing up, my friends. Got 9 of you in the chat, probably more on the way, and in about a minute and 10 seconds, we'll get started. Hail Darius Munchausen, Rob Altus, and Carries. Hello to all of you. Matt G in the house, reminding you to hit the like. And Kaio Motion. I'm glad you're joining us from Germany, my friend. Hey, Golgo13. Thank you, Darius, for the $1.49 box of popcorn. I actually just had breakfast. Hey, Six. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are, whenever you are joining us. Hey, thanks for checking out the 6-Minute Daily. We've got several stories to cover today, and as I mentioned during the warm-up, the 2-minute warning, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to go over to Odyssey shortly after ending here and do an actual news stream, which, of course, I can't do here because you get in trouble here. So, thank you all for being here. Let's get on with our first story, shall we? All right, here we go. That was not it. Hey, wouldn't be a stream if I didn't boomer it, guys. Would not be a stream. Oh, goodness. I did it again. That's 3 times in the same stream. I did the same thing. Anyway, it gives us extra time, so here we go. Unfortunately, we lost Richard Donner. Lauren Schuler Donner, husband Richard Donner. He was an integral part of so many films that we came to enjoy. Deadline put together an article today, and it's pretty good. It's essentially his life in pictures. I guess they came up with it yesterday afternoon, but I found it today, and it talks about him and his life and all the different film projects that he was involved in. It really does pay an homage to this man who was so terribly important. Again, age 91, he lived a nice long life. I hope I live as long. I need another 40 years on this planet if I can get it. But of course, Superman being the standout film there. Of course, The Omen, Goonies, Lady Hawk, Scrooged, and Lethal Weapon. Maverick. He does a lot of other stuff that he was involved in. Free Willy as a producer, The Lost Boys, X-Men. He was amazing. And you can look at this. You can look at everything he did in pictures here. There seems to be 20 in all. So you can check this out. Be sure to do so. It seems like it would be worth your time. Let's Get rid of that banner. All right, moving on to the next story. We've wasted enough time there. Hey, Judicon. The Witcher Blood Origin, which is going to be a new prequel story, has cast Michelle Yeoh as Cian in the Netflix prequel series. Of course, these are all based on the novels that are actually what the video game is based on. So we'll have to see. But I guess it's basically about master swordsman or something. I really haven't done a lot of research into this, but at least we're seeing some casting announcement being made. Beyond that, BBC. We got a couple things to talk about. The BBC, their studio earnings sank 41 million, of course, after being shut down, and over half of their shows weren't able to be produced. Well, because of this, it had a trickle down effect, and some of the stars that were on the not pay side, or excuse me, the government side of the BBC took pay cuts by about $2.8 million. Most notably, of course, Gary Linker. He took a pretty decent salary cut in order to help, I guess, buoy other people's salaries, or to I don't know, but there are many contracts that are signed at reduced rates across the board by BBC stars. Now, one thing we can't see into, because all of these people, they're employed by the government, is the ad-based side. So anything that's ad-based, any channels that are ad-based in the BBC, you're not going to see these kinds of salaries reported, and you're not going to know whether any of those folks had to take a pay cut. But it makes a lot of sense when you're overextended to ask your stars to take a cut. Doesn't mean they have to, but also, they may not retain their jobs and their new contracts. We're going to move on to Black Widow. I talked about it in yesterday's video, one of the most successful videos I've had in a while. Of course, I didn't monetize it, of course, because there was some little bit of controversy in there, and YouTube probably wouldn't have liked it. But Black Widow director talks about a potential for a sequel and how the Marvel pick was made to be seen in cinemas. Well, all of these films are made to be seen in cinemas. And the domestic box office opening, I should say, at 80 to 90 million. Well, later in the story, again, you can lie in a headline, because all the headline's designed to do is to get you in to read the story. But they actually do use the proper word, feasibly, to open between 80 and 90 million. That's asking a lot of this film. And one of the reasons I think it's asking a lot is because Fast 9, the F9, has just now zoomed past 500 million globally. They had a global release. Black Widow is not getting that. There's going to be some international markets it won't open in. So they're not going to garner, the 100 million or so that they could from, a couple of markets in particular. I think this thing will hit the target that they set, which is a low bar of 135 to 140 million overall. I think that's reasonable. Moving on from there, you're going to see an increase in the viewers for the NBA Finals. And it doesn't matter that the teams are not as big a deal as the Lakers, led by LaChina, or anyone else. I think you'll actually see that increase because there'll be less of that kind of garbage on the court. But we'll have to see. And beyond that, CNN host slams Matthew McConaughey's midlife crisis, is what he calls it, by his intent to run for governor. His polling is pretty good, so he has a decent chance of going toe-to-toe with Abbott. Abbott still pulled back into the lead recently. And again, this isn't political at all. I'm not talking about the politics of this at all, just about the fact that the CNN host thought it mention to McConaughey that, this probably wasn't a good idea. Whatever. And beyond that, of course, good news. Quentin Tarantino has bought the historic Vista Theater in Los Angeles, so at least one thing can be saved. He plans to have it open by Christmas. At least that's what he told Dax Shepard on his podcast. Beyond all that, I want to say thank you so very much for being here today. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. Don't forget to set your reminders for the Tuesday tirade with Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge here in just about 2 hours. And I'll see those of you who want to see some news on Odyssey shortly. Bye.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.